kind of like shit that makes me giggle and kick my feet. Oh my god, she got me something. I'm so fucking excited. Hey, what you doing? Oh, me? I am about to prep some pizza dough to make some pizza for dinner tonight. And I was thinking maybe about reading this thing. I'm gonna start off with audiobook because I heard a little bit of a snippet. I wasn't planning on reading this. Not now, at least. I saw a little bit of a snippet of a quote and I'm like, I need that now in my life. I cannot wait any longer. So this is what I'm gonna be starting off this vlog with. The male lead's favorite color is blue. That's all I know. That's the quote I saw. So I've got 2 hours left of my listening hours for this month before it renews in 5 days. So I'm gonna listen to those 2 hours because this is a 17-hour long book. And then I'll have my 15 hours for the next month that renews in 5 days. So it's perfect. It was meant to be. That's what we're doing. Let's get to it. I last left you off. I was listening to Powerless. I really love the narration. I love the audiobook, so I want to continue this with audiobook as I read along. I only made it to chapter 7, so I didn't make it very far, but I will continue it in this vlog. I won't post this vlog up until I finish this book. I'm back. I had to go put Enzo down. As I was saying, I'm reading The Phoenix Bride. So far, I'm loving it. So The Phoenix Bride is a historical romance, and I don't think I've ever read really like a true non-fantasy historical fiction, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Like, I really love Bridgerton. So I've watched a lot of historical drama romances, but I've never read one aside from Half a Soul, but that has fairies and stuff in it, so I don't consider it like a true period type of romance. So this is like my first one and I'm really thoroughly enjoying it. The writing is very palatable, very easy to digest, and just really read super quickly. And I think it's just under 400 pages, dual POV, and some of the like descriptions and the similes and the metaphors, they're just so good. It hurts, it's so good. And the way that grief is depicted, both our female main character Cecilia and our main male character David have lost someone incredibly important to them in their lives. Cecilia has lost her husband to the plague, and David has lost his best friend and partner in business. They have this sort of like connection and grief, and Cecilia after, I think it's like 130 something days, something like that. It's been a good amount of time. It hasn't been quite a year. She's still suffering quite a bit from grief. She's had to leave her entire estate behind. She's not even able to manage her own money, and she has not stepped foot outside of this townhouse that she is staying in at her sister's husband's estate. Dealing with this grief for a long time, she had isolated herself within her own estate, and then she was having some very concerning thoughts, and so she was a little bit scared of herself, so she decided to go to her sister, and so her sister has been taking care of her, so just keeping her alive and trying to make her better whenever she can. But also, the sister's not doing it just like purely out of sisterly love. She's doing it because she wants to marry her sister off to a new bachelor that has just kind of like strolled into town. And so we just got to this point where the suitor wants to come and meet Cecilia, and Cecilia is like, I don't want to get married, you're crazy. And she jumps out the window. But she jumps out of like the second story window in order to not even see the suitor, and has ran off into London like in nothing but her like petticoat. And she is at the park, and of course like her hands were all bloodied because she fell into a thorn bush. My buddy David is also at the park, and he was there to help mend her. And I love that, like, although he's a physician, he doesn't just mend her like physically of her physical ailments. He's using connection through this grief in order to also help mend her soul. And for once, she actually finds peace among another person, or just peace in general. And so it's just really nice seeing this woman who feels like she is so undeserving of this life. She asked, why am I the one who has survived? Why wasn't it me that was taken off of this planet? Why wasn't my husband, who had an unending joy for the world and was always happy? Like, why me? Why did I have to stay? And she talks about how she feels as though she has also died with him. And it's just like, oh my god, there's so much. And the fact that, like, David is always like, you are not a burden, you are worthy. And there's just some descriptions that are so, I feel them in my soul gutturally. And there's like a lot that I've been highlighting. I don't highlight that often, so whenever I do highlight, like, it's kind of a big deal. So they are like playing the, not the harpsichord, it's something else, spinet. They're playing like a spinet, and their hands are touching as they're playing this instrument and plucking the chords and stuff. And it says, the room is a book we have been pressed within, preserved like flowers. The only thing of substance is his touch, an unbearable warmth where his skin presses against my own. And then it goes on, and it she kind of like describes the sound of the song that they're playing, and she says the sound is soft, more of a sigh than a song. And just like little things like that. And the way that she describes him is just the last one, I swear. Still the same scene. They're like pressed together closely playing this instrument, and she's like, I find myself cataloging details I haven't noticed before. He has another tiny pock scar where his right ear meets his hairline, barely visible beneath a dark curl. His ears are small and round, and he smells of garden herbs, rosemary and thyme, their perfume overlaying that intangible sort of heat men sometimes have. A scent that makes me lean slightly closer and my breath catch. Just like, this is the kind of like shit that makes me giggle and kick my feet in the air. The raunchy stuff, y'all can have it. I want this. This is what gives me butterflies. Ooh. The subtle details. So you know how like in Pride and Prejudice, where like hands are a big thing, there's a lot of attention to detail with the hands in this. There's like a point where she like describes his hand and the way that it makes her feel just like looking at them or holding them. So good. So I'm having a lot of fun with this book, like way more than I thought I was going to. I made a new Kindle case, by the way. I want to make my travel Kindle case cute too, so that's what I did. I put the fire heart and the buzzard design on it, and I really like it. I have my clear Kindle case with all the stickers and stuff in the pop socket, but whenever I'm traveling, I want to have something that protects my screen so I can just throw it in a bag if I'm rushing, and this really protects the screen. Also, I love that when I open it, it just automatically does that, and it kind of feels like I'm reading a book too. So this is really great for traveling because it protects my screen. I have not started this, and I don't think I will start it in this vlog. This is one of my most anticipated reads of the year. Basically, it is about this vampire and a werewolf getting married. So, it says, Misery Lark, daughter of a powerful vampire councilman, is an outcast. Her days of living anonymously among the humans are over, and she has been called upon to uphold an allegiance between the vampires and their mortal enemies, the werewolves. Are you kidding me? I saw something today that people talk about how this book is in the perspective of the vampire bride. However, at each beginning of the chapter, we get the thoughts of our male main character, like what he's thinking about her, and I thought that was different and super special. So instead of being, I don't think it's dual POV, it's solely from her perspective, but we still get the hint of like what he's thinking, so I love that. I'm familiar with the Omegaverse. I have dipped my toes. I'm not like incredibly knowledgeable, but I have dipped my toes into some. I think it was Sun-Crossed, Star-Crossed, Moon-Crossed. That's like the one that I've read before, which wasn't bad. I just didn't finish the series. I moved on to other things. I also went to the library and I picked up Bing, Normal People. I was thinking about taking this on the plane with me. I'm gonna be in Colorado for like 10 days, 8 days, 9 days, like 9 days ish. I know I'm probably not gonna get like a ton of reading done because I'm gonna be socializing with people, but I still want to have my books on lock. I need the options. I will be taking my Kindle 100%. So that's where I'm at in like the books. Payton, so far really enjoying that. It is YA. I didn't know it was YA going in, but one of my friends, I saw her post something about it being YA, and I was like, oh, that's news to me. And whenever people talk about this book, they never say it's YA. Powerless is YA, so there's not going to be spice, which I'm totally fine with. I'm just glad that I have that knowledge beforehand, so I'm not like done with the book and I'm disappointed. So good to know that there's not really spice in that, which is fine. I love reading books without spice. So I'm gonna celebrate Valentine's Day early since we're gonna be out of town for Valentine's Day, and I've been wanting to do like a galentines kind of party for my girls. I'm gonna go out to the living room and I'm gonna decorate with some of the Valentine's decorations and kind of have it all set up so that in the morning they'll be surprised, and we'll just have like a whole day dedicated to hanging out and girly things. We're gonna do face masks, not popcorn, monkey bread, and I want to set up like a little space for, I want to do like a fake photo booth kind of thing. I think it'd be really fun for their journaling experience too, and I think that'll be really cute to put in the journals. So that's the plan for today, for tonight. All the kids are asleep. Let's go decorate. here is where I've got their gifts set up, and then activities as well. So like inside their bags, they've got face masks and little toys and things for them. And then Enzo gets the little Bluey plushie with like the little bath crayons, which I'm sure the girls will use as well. And then we've got little activities that we're gonna do, little sweet treat bingo, and then these little hair gems Astrid has been asking for months now. So we got some hair gems in the mirror so she can see where she's doing the hair gems and stuff. Then we've got little foil crafts. We're gonna do nails, and I've got little popcorn things for whenever we do movies, and some stickers for their journals. And I think that they're gonna absolutely love it. And I'm gonna try and wake up early so I can see their expressions whenever they first wake up. But y'all, these kids wake up at an ungodly hour. Tell me why their bodies just naturally wake them up at like 6:30 in the morning. No. Let's go in the office. I'll talk more. I'm super excited because I've never really had like a Galentine's Day. So this is like my first time having a Galentine's Day party too. And it's really special that I can share that with my girls. And Enzo too. But Enzo's like he doesn't know what's going on. He's just along for the ride. But they're actually old enough now to really enjoy doing these fun girly things with me. I love being a woman. I love being a girl. I love all the girly things. Like the fact that for so long people have made it seem like being a woman and loving girly things and all that is so inferior and something we should be ashamed of. I'm over it. I'm done. I love all the girliness. It's like 10 o'clock. I'll probably read some more. I'm gonna try and not stay up all night and read The Phoenix Bride, but that's gonna be really hard because that book is really good. Okay, good night. I'll see you in the morning. I will probably film like a little bit of Galentine's Day. Not a lot because I want to spend most of my time with them. But I'll probably just get like a few little snippets and do an update on my book next time I pop in. So, hope you have a good night. I'll see you in the morning. We're in Colorado. Look at it. You forgot the pickles! I finished printing them out, and you guys, I am so in love with these. They're so stinking cute. Cut them out and they actually look like little Valentine's Day film strips. They're so cute. I even added this little detail here on the bottom. It says Valentine's 2024. And they're just so cute, little film strips. I love these. I want to start doing these for more holidays because look at how stinking cute. This one, because these are gonna go in my journal. These ones are for my husband so he can take them to work and hang them up because he has like a little bulletin board where he puts pictures and stuff. Okay, so for each of the kids, like for Astrid, she has like her little, we did a little solo picture, then one of her and her sister, one of her and me and my husband, and then one of her and me and her sister blowing kisses. But I can always just print out like extra copies if they want some of like, we have some with Enzo here. So like this is the one that I printed out for my husband. It's got everybody on one. So I think this is such a super cute idea, and I had so much fun with it, and we're gonna continue to have fun with it for the journaling. I highly recommend doing this. The decor that I used, I literally used paper plates, like a little banner streamer thing, and a happy Valentine's Day thing. Like, you guys saw me do it. Literally the backdrop cost like $7 maybe, including tax. So I super highly recommend doing this. It is so fun. The kids had fun with it. I had fun with it. And it's such a cute, sweet little memory. I recommend.
Your husband the sole income provider? No. Preparing for sleep? Because I don't want. Finished Buccaneers a while back. Love like old time period shows, and it's.
Once you've done it, your quantity, and it is your daily dose into your nighttime routine. The brand is only at this stage. It's such a this piece of hand.
Hi, I'm in the bathroom because that's just like the only quiet space that I can find at the moment. We are about to leave for Denver. Everything's packed. It's kind of just like the waiting game right now. We're gonna go take Violet, our dog, over to a friend's house. She always stays with him whenever we go out of state. And then my sister's gonna come and pick us up in our car because we've got all the kids' car seats and stuff. And she'll take care of the cats whenever we're gone. So we're just kind of like waiting. It's 3:20 and our flight boards at 9:30 tonight. Fun. 3 kids. It's gonna be great. I just know it's gonna be so fun. Last time I went on the plane was not great. I came back with a stomach bug, so it was like on the way back I was both ends, man. Both ends. That's all I'm gonna say. But we'll probably leave here around like 7:30 to just kind of get there a little bit early. I just finished taking pictures for my Warner's a couple vlogs back. I think I showed you guys that I got a Warner's package, and I just took the stuff for that because it was due today and I totally spaced on it, so I did that. They turned out really cute. And then I also finished The Phoenix Bride. That's why I'm here. I'm like, why am I sitting down talking? Because I finished The Phoenix Bride. So it was actually very, very good. I enjoyed it quite a lot. It was an arc that I got from NetGalley, and I find sometimes with arcs it's really hit or miss, and this one literally was a hit. It is about Cecilia, and she is a recently widowed woman. So she goes to London and she meets this physician, David. I'm assuming that's how his name is pronounced because he is Portuguese. He is a physician and he comes to take care of her, and the sister of Cecilia is just like, yeah, get this girl up and ready. I need to get her married come spring. Basically because she just wants to marry her off to her husband's nephew so that, you know, they can secure their inheritance or whatever. Cecilia doesn't know that her sister is plotting to get her married, but David does know. He's like, this feels really icky, I should tell her, but he doesn't end up telling her. She's like, no, who would want me? I am grief-stricken. There's so much wrong with me. I'm so damaged. And he's like, there's nothing wrong with you, nothing ever. And like the sister's like, just give her tonics, just give her concoctions, just give her whatever you need to just get her over this. But David is there really and just takes care of her soul. It's a forbidden romance between Cecilia and David. I do have to say that as like a typical romantasy, enemies to lovers kind of reader, that's typically what I read, I do have to fine-tune and adjust my sort of expectations for books. And as this being my first historical romance, compared to a fantasy, not a lot is going on. And so I have to really dial back those expectations of what I think should be in a book because obviously this is not the same genre. And so I have to get used to that because I could look at this and say, oh, boring, not a lot happened. I have to fine tune that. I gave it a I'm like somewhere between a 4 and a 5, not quite a 5, not quite a 4, just because like the way that it ended, it turned out for the absolute best. There's also some LGBTQ representation in this book. There is like kind of like how the situation, how it ends, who she ends up with and who she technically ends up with. Like, it's just, it was giving very much John Gray from Outlander, if you know what I mean. I highlighted so many things. It was so beautifully and lyrically written. I very much do love the aspect of her being a phoenix bride because she rises from the ashes of her grief, self-hatred. Do wish that maybe there had been a little bit more inner self-work rather than a man coming along and just being like, you are worth it, and then her realizing, oh, yes I am. I do wish that she had a little bit more of self-work there. But overall, it was a really, really good book. I do recommend it. It was a nice quick little read. I read it in a couple of days. I could have read it faster, but I just, packing and all of that going on, I really didn't have a lot of time to sit down. But I do recommend it. It's very good. Like somewhere between a 4 and a 5 star. I'm not sure. I'm thinking like 4.5-ish. There's just something holding me back from giving it a 5 star. And I think it is just the way that her worth was very centered around a man. But in this time and age, we have to give it some of that little credit because at this time and age, a woman's worth was very so much so connected with a man because she could not, she owned nothing of her own simply because she was a woman and her husband was gone. So, yeah. Anyways, super good. I'm still reading Powerless. I actually, the day that I filmed that I was listening to it, I ran out of my listening hours, so I've been waiting to read it because I really, really love the audiobook, the voices. So good. So I started reading it again because my listening hours renewed, and I am like a fourth of the way through. I just got to the part where Peyton and Kai had like their first skirmish amongst like the other, what do they call them, elites in the training room. So good. I'm really enjoying it so far. Very flirtatious. I would not call this enemies to lovers just because of the fact that Kai was instantly infatuated with Peyton, but Peyton doesn't see it that way. She's like, yeah, he's good looking, but he's my another contestant. He's who I'm going up against. I don't see him in that way. But he's like clearly infatuated with her and kind of love to see it. But I would not call this enemies to lovers because they are not enemies. She has saved him like very early in the book. And so it's good. It's not enemies to lovers. They're very snarky, very flirtatious, so very flirtatious, which actually surprises me that there's no spice because the flirting is like heavy on. I'm gonna continue to read that probably on the plane. Hopefully. We'll see what I can do whenever I am carrying a child and have another next to me. Wanted to give you an update before we head to the airport. Next time you see me, I'll probably be in Denver. In Denver. It is currently like 10:30 in the morning. We got here, gosh, I don't know what time it was here that we got here, but we got here like around 4 o'clock Atlanta time, so 2 o'clock Denver time in the morning. And then we woke up probably around like 7:30-ish because the kids were running all around the house having a good old time. The girls' cousins had school, so they went off to school, and then my cuñada went to go take her son to doctor's appointment. We're just hanging out here at the house just for time being. Figured this would be a really good time to continue with some Powerless. I listened a little bit last night on the plane, not a lot because I was falling asleep, and I don't like falling asleep on the plane. I did fall asleep on the plane a little bit. But I was listening to the audiobook for a long while, and then I switched over to like some YouTube videos that I like downloaded and put on a micro SD card, and then I ended up falling asleep. But so I got a teensy bit further. We did the ball scene, which was very exciting. I'm a little bit disappointed that Peyton didn't have like a grand kind of entrance and like her coming down the stairs and Kai seeing her in her dress. It was pretty like not uneventful because he still had a really great reaction to her being in like her dress, but she was just standing next to him. Like he didn't see her come down the stairs at all, which I would have loved that Princess Diaries moment, you know what I mean, of her coming down the stairs and him just being in awe and struck. So that was a little bit disappointing. Got a little bit of a taste of events going on in the background of the Resistance, which is so crazy that she's never heard of the Resistance or anything. But she seemed pretty in the know, I guess, but I guess not. This is my prediction. I think that maybe not in this book, I don't know. I think she's gonna become a part of the Resistance. I mean, how could she not? With the way that the ordinaries are treated, I don't understand how she just couldn't be a part of the Resistance that she could possibly give them, or she could be like the insider. I don't know how they're gonna find their way to her. I'm sure they'll have like the first trial of it, but do you think they'll go through with the rest of the trial like normal? Because this trial is supposed to be like a little bit different because it does have an enforcer, a future enforcer, Kai. So they said it's gonna be a little bit different. But I can't imagine with the attacks of the Resistance that it would just be like normal resumed kind of trials. We still have like this much, a good portion. So I'll probably drink another coffee. I've already drank 1 cup. I'll probably drink another one. Hi, so I'm with my friend and she, oh my god, she got me something. I'm so fucking excited. So she just like, she's taking her dog out right now. And so she's just like, here, take this. And then ran off. Let's see. Oh my god. Wait, this is the back. Oh my god, it's so cute. Look at this. Shut up. And then they have the back. It's got Azrael, Shadow Singer, Spymaster Shadow Singer, Cassian, my man, General Commander, and Rhysand, High Lord of the Night Guard. Oh my god, this is beautiful. So she just has started her reading journey, and the first books that she's starting with is ACOTAR. And so she completely read the series within like a week, I feel like. Maybe a little bit, like maybe 2 weeks perhaps. And so it is so exciting. She's like my best friend from my very first day of high school. She's been my best friend since then. And so like the fact that she's finally getting into the book series, like reading books, which is my love language, I guess. It's just books. And so the fact that she's like into all of this now is so fucking exciting for me. I finally have like someone to be giddy with over this stuff. I'm so excited. And she's reading Throne of Glass now too. She's on Assassin's Blade after Crown of Midnight. I am getting ready to go to the thrift store. I love the thrift store. One thing about me, I love a good thrift. Going to get coffee and thrift, like my 2 favorite things. I'm gonna pregame with this coffee for the other coffee for when we go to the thrift store. My husband is gonna stay home and watch the kids while my cuñada and I go to the thrift store. And the thing about it is that sure, Georgia has thrift stores, but the only thrift stores that they like really have are Goodwill, at least in my area. And we have a few really small, tiny mom and pop shop kind of thrift stores, but they are very, very picked over, and they are very much so only kind of like religious things. Not a lot of options for somebody like me. Colorado, Denver area has fantastic thrift stores. I think about them all the time when I'm in Georgia. That's like one thing that I really miss here. And they open at 9. So we're gonna get there right at 9 because she says that today is 50% off day and everybody lines up outside. So that's what we're gonna do. yeah, I'm just gonna do a super light face. I'm not gonna do anything heavy. Comadre, she is very much so very religious, which is fine. So today's Lent. This starts Lent, and so they don't eat meat. So we're gonna be doing chile rellenos today. Later tonight, my mom's gonna come. My Nina's gonna come. My padrino, and just like a small little kind of small. We all have kind of big families, but we're all gonna get together and have some good food. Just enjoy each other's company. It's gonna be great. But first, thrift. Yeah. Really brush out these lashes and stuff. They're looking kind of Wile E. Coyote. Today's also Valentine's Day. So Martine and I aren't really doing anything. He's not, I don't think he's gonna buy flowers, which is fine because we're traveling. Just don't think that it would be a good use of money to buy flowers while we're here. Like, I can't properly put them in our home. So I don't think that's gonna happen. But he is staying here to watch the kids so that we can have a little bit of like a girls' day, and I appreciate that. So I got a little bit further into Powerless. The trials have started, and it's very much giving Hunger Games. It's giving me that kind of feeling that I had during Hunger Games. I would not say that like I'm raving that it's a 6 quite yet, or a 5 really. I'm like leaning towards a 4. So I am curious because, you know, whenever you give your character a power as a writer, typically you're supposed to also give them a limit, or you're supposed to give them like a checks and balance kind of system where the more they use their powers, maybe it controls their emotions more, or the more that they use their powers, it depletes their energy more. And I haven't quite seen any sort of check to Kai's power, but I'm curious to see Lauren Roberts has put in any sort of check into his power, because he kind of seems just like really OP now to where he can use anybody else's power against them, and that just makes him crazy OP and gives him a lot of, not plot armor, but you're just kind of like, oh yeah, he's gonna be fine because he's literally using their power against them and is better at it. The only person that could really be his downfall is Peyton. I wish there was a little bit more of like a check for him, and maybe there is and I don't know it yet. It's time for a thrift haul. I didn't get a lot of footage in there because it was crazy packed. There was like 5 people in each aisle. You couldn't get anywhere, go anywhere, because it was like all 50% off except for one tag. Let me show you what I got. I've been looking for a lot more like comfy loungewear and like pajamas that are really cute. First one is this cute little pink set with the lettuce leaf hem. So these are the pants, and they have pockets. It comes with this little pink lettuce leaf hem, little button down shirt. I found these brand new with the tags for $4. I so badly wish that I would have found the pants to this because it is stunning. It is also new with the tags. Got a little brava, little pajama shirt. Look at this. Look at the pattern. Stunning, gorgeous. This skirt that I got for $2.99 from White Stag is very boho. It looks really red on the camera, but it's more like purplish. A little bit oversized sort of thing. What is this called? Blazer. I really have been wanting to get a blazer, and I like that it's thin because I get hot super easily. So I thought that this would be really good. Skechers, like wide leg lounge activewear pants. And then I also got Enzo some pants because I thought I packed pants for Enzo. I packed one pair of pajama pants. So I got him these little wide leg jeans, these little jeans, these thermals, and these Nautica little pants. Super cute. And then I got this button down kind of satiny shirt, which I thought would look really good with this kind of pleather corset top thing that I got over it. And then these Old Navy pants, I think they're, yeah, new with the tags, wide leg, kind of cargo-y. And then this little, it's kind of hard to see. Oh yeah, there you go. Cute. And then I found some books, which surprised me. So some of these, I've actually only read one of these before, but I really wanted to have it on my shelf. So they were $2.99, except for this one, which was literally just $1. So first book that we have is Promises and Pomegranates, which is a Hades and Persephone's reimagining by Sab R. Miller, which is like a popular book on TikTok, and I've never read it, so. And I picked up The Love Hypothesis, again, for $2.99. Are you kidding me? I'm trying to read all of Jane Austen's work, so I picked up Mansfield Park. Then these ones I'd never heard of, but I was reading them on the back, and they sounded really good. So this one is The Sweet Breathing of Plants. It's an anthology that explores the vital bonds with nature. That sounded right up my alley. And then I also picked up The Grimrose Girls, which I looked at it on Goodreads, and it has like 3.57 or something, which is not terrible, but it is a fantasy thriller. So I'm like, that's what I'm trying to dip my toes into, so that sounds really good. And then last but certainly not least, this one really intrigued me. It's called The All Night Sun, and basically it's about this woman who's a young writing professor. She's isolated and haunted by a tragic past, and then she goes on this trip with her friend Siri to Sweden. And it says, on the last night of her trip, Lauren accompanies Siri to a debauched outdoor party to celebrate Midsummer's Eve, and under the light of the unsetting sun, things take a dark turn. And that, I was like, yeah, okay. And then I read that sentence and I was like, that's coming with me. That sounds amazing. So yeah, that just sounds so good. So I'm gonna do some cleaning because we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna have some family and friends over for Chile Rellenos tonight. And I'm gonna help my cuñada clean up the house a little bit. Shut the fuck up. What? It's all okay. It's okay. They tricked me. That's a good one. I use that a lot. What is like your biggest theory that you have right now? You're in the middle of Assassin's Blade. I'm gonna put some context here. Okay. In the middle of Assassin's Blade. What is like your biggest theory? What do you think is gonna happen next? Where do you think this series is gonna go?
I think that after she kills this guy.
Which guy?
Divine,
I don't remember which one it is.
Duval or whatever his name is. Move on. Sam's gonna fall in love with her and make her watch.
Okay.
As she's leaving, she's gonna get captured.
Gotcha.
Because Arabin didn't like that she left.
Okay. So where do you think like the whole Throne of Glass from Crown of Midnight is gonna go? Do you have any idea on how that's gonna go? Because
Remind me where they left off, because she went to...
she's going across the seas. Kale sent her over to...
who she was.
Yeah, she told him on the dock.
Yep.
Who she was.
Yep, so...
And then he sent her over there to protect her from the king.
I think that she's going to create an uproar, and I think that they're going to somehow find out how exactly word marks work. Because I know she kind of knows.
Yeah.
She has a base understanding. I feel like she's going to use those against the king. And then I think that Donovan's going to kill the king. Dorian's gonna kill the king because she is like hurting and he still is in love with her.
And what is the Duke's name?
Paddington. Fucking Paddington.
Oh, I lost it. I lost it when you said Paddington.
I don't know. I could butcher names all fucking day.
Donovan.
LaShonda. I don't know.
She said LaShonda. She was talking about Lysandra. What's the one girl's name? LaShonda.
Maybe she's going to restore magic.
Okay. And who do you think she's going to end up with?
Obviously, Kale.
Obviously.
She has to.
She has to.
If she goes back to Dorian, I'm going to be kind of upset.
Okay.
They're both handsome. But, like, Kale gets her. So, like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what else is revealed. I don't want to say too much and then be like the whole Tamlin situation.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that I told you about. That's like one of the staples, yeah.
Oh, I met a girl at the play place who was reading this.
Yeah, Kristen Hanna is having like a really big moment right now. I have Bride. I haven't read it yet. This situation, my voice, of course, traveling came down with something, but I did finish Powerless, and I have some thoughts. Basically all happened exactly how I thought it would. It's very predictable. It's very much so like the books that people compare it to. It's a lot like Hunger Games. I even saw like a little bit of Harry Potter in it, like through the last trial with the maze. All very incredibly predictable. This is very much not enemies to lovers. Kai is immediately infatuated with her right off the bat, as is Kit. There is like this little kind of love triangle, if you could call it that, because Kit is very much so interested in Peyton, but also is Kai. But Peyton is pretty much only sees Kit as a friend, even though he's been the one that's kind of been courting her publicly. Tell me why I kind of ship her more with Kit than I do with Kai. I don't know why exactly, because Kai is like your typical bad boy that I would normally ship the main female character the FMCs with. I was vibing more with Kit. She had more tension with Kit. I feel like she had more, not necessarily banter, because she banters a lot with Kai. However, it's very super flirtatious banter, and you know neither one of them really mean anything that they're saying whenever they say that they're gonna off each other, you know? Peyton's tension with Kit and just like their comfortability with each other was a lot more appealing to me than Kai, which is wild. So I really hope that in the second one we get more POVs from Kit, and maybe this could be like an Akamath situation where we're kind of tricked into thinking that Kai is the love interest whenever Kit really is. I don't know. Although this is not a 5-star for me, unfortunately. I don't know if I'm being a cynic, because I've seen so many people give this 5 stars. They're completely just infatuated and obsessed with this book, and I could see why. If I was to give this a star rating, I would give it a 3.5. I, for the life of me, just could not stop comparing it to Hunger Games because it is so incredibly similar. I've also heard people compare this to Red Queen, which I've never read that, so I wouldn't know. So I do understand why the banter and the dialogue and just the whole concept itself is a bit, I don't want to say immature, but it definitely could have been developed more, and I feel like this has a lot of potential to it, but I unfortunately am not just feeling as crazy hyped as everybody else, and that's so unfortunate for me, because I was really hoping I would. The trials were good. I feel like they could have been so much better. What was the point in the second trial of having them split up into 2 teams? Whenever they didn't even do anything to be a team together. They didn't help each other. There was literally no objective for them to be a team. It was just like, hey, you're just stuck together and get there. I don't know, I just feel like this could have been so much better. It had so much potential. It is very much so romance heavy. It is a romantasy. So don't go into this thinking that you're gonna get like a lot of magic and plot. I feel like the world building could have been so much better. Dove into the characters a little bit more. It is very much so like every romantasy trope that you can think of is in this book. And so I felt like most of this book was just watching Guy and Peyton banter at each other whenever they so clearly are just flirting. But just the whole thing, it really just fell off for me. Even with the ending, I feel like the whole resistance was just so underprepared. You would think after years and years of them trying to plan this out, they would have been a little bit more prepared and had a little bit more of a plan. And once again, Kai and his power was OP and is the whole reason that everything like hit the fan. I found myself skimming a lot towards the end because a lot of it was just the same stuff over and over and repeating, and it got to the point where the tension and the banter between Kai and Peyton, we get it so much in the book that I was just kind of like skimming past it. It didn't give me butterflies anymore. At one point, Kai was healing Peyton and taking care of the wounds, you know, like that romantasy trope thing, and I love that. But then literally like 30 seconds later, they quite literally switched within the same scene. She's like, okay, my turn to take care of you, and they're literally talking about the same stuff to each other, and literally just like copying each other. It was the exact same dialogue as what we had the previous 5 minutes before. Third of the book, I did finish it physically, and I stopped listening to the audiobook because I felt like the audiobook was really just slowing me down, and it wasn't giving that much for it. I do love the narrators. They did a fantastic job, especially Kai, like his voice. I really loved his voice. With the way that I was starting to skim, it was really holding me back. Did it shock me at any point? Yes, it did. At one point in the first trial, I was like, holy shit, they already killed that person off? Like, I thought they were gonna have like more of a standing point in this book. So that had surprised me, and then it turned out to be not even true. So I was like, oh, I don't know. I just feel like I'm like harping on this book so hard. Like I said, I'll continue with the second one. It didn't wow me, it didn't surprise me. That's why I'm giving it like a 3.5, because I feel like a 3 is a little bit too low. But I just don't feel like it hit that 4-star mark for me, because it just, nothing surprised me. Not a single thing in here. The only thing that did surprise me wasn't even real. So very, very heavy similarities to Hunger Games. I see why people compare it to that. I wish that it would have branched out and kind of become like its own thing. Pretty much just like everything that's happened in Hunger Games happened in this. Like the dress for the first ball, where she made a point with the dress, is the same thing that Katniss did whenever they did the dress with the flames. And then the way that, well, I can't go into too much, but Hunger Games but a different font. You know what I mean? It's not that I don't like it. I just didn't love it. And I'm so sad because this was like one of my highly anticipated. I have a tattoo appointment later with my bestie. You guys saw me get coffee with her and we did a little bit of errand running the other day. So we're gonna go get some Dutch Bros because I've never had Dutch Bros before. I saw that they had one here. I think it's new. And then we're gonna walk around a few secondhand bookshops, I think. And then we're gonna go get a tattoo. So I'm very excited for that. I'm gonna bring you guys along with me. I'm gonna put on my Bat Boy shirt because we're gonna wear our matching Bat Boy shirts whenever we go get our tattoos. I'm gonna go finish getting ready and I will see you in a little bit.
Say what you said again.
Okay, I'm so angry at Kale for telling Aiden that Selena is Aylin, sorry.
No, you're good.
I get that they're cousins. I get it. That's fine. Whatever. That does not give him the right to know things about her, especially things that could potentially kill her or put her in danger. Yeah. And I'm like, and then he threatens to go to the king.
Aiden did?
Well, he was like, you know, telling me this is
really dangerous.
Really dangerous.
The way that I took that is that Aiden is like, dude, why are you telling me this? I'm pissed at you for telling me this because I could have done something with that information because I could have been under the thrall of the king. Like, I could have.
Okay.
So it feels like Aiden was mad at Kale for the same reason.
Okay.
That's how I took that.
Okay, because I took it like, you don't know my intentions. Like, what if I go to the king with this information?
No, that's not how I took that.
You get killed.
No, for sure.
Oh.
I could see why you would think that, but because, again, I can't give too much away because I don't know where exactly it all meshes together.
Well, and you can tell that Selena kind of still, like, blames him for Nehemiah's passing.
Oh, for sure.
Which is not really his fault, but, like, I get why she's angry because she needed the information.
Yes.
I went to the wrong area.
Oh, that's okay.
That's fine.
Yes. How are you feeling about Manon?
I'm not sure. I don't know what's gonna happen with the witches. I know that it's important. I'm just not sure what's gonna happen yet. And I don't want to form too many opinions, especially because Aylin killed Baba Yellowlegs. So I'm feeling like it has something to do with that.
Okay.
And that Aylin is gonna get in trouble for killing Baba Yellowlegs by the witches. But I mean, she can fucking do fire shit, so
not whenever she's in Rifthold.
No. But also, I assume at some point that the magic is gonna go back to Rifthold and
it'll be restored.
Yeah.
How do you think the magic will be restored?
Word marks. I don't know exactly. I don't know. I haven't gotten further on that, but word marks.
Okay.
Period. Probably something to do with the queen, but she's a shady bitch too, so we don't know. I'm all, she's
where the
shady
fuck is
as
this
fuck.
Dutch Bros?
It's right here. I just was literally kind of lost for a second because I turned too soon. Should we?
You just go through drive-through.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I am trying to get out with the.
It's kind of where I'm at.
And then how do you feel about Rowan? Just so it's like on the.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of him yet. I can't tell if they're gonna be mated or if she's gonna kill him. There's no in between.
Hey, that's the best type. That's the best type of relationship right there. Let's see.
Those are
protein coffees. I've never been here before.
Never been to a Dutch Bros.
Bros.
Need to give us a moment.
I see Olivia reads a latte, gets Dutch Bros all the time, and it looks so fucking good. Oh, Golden Eagle.
Oh yeah, that one's one of my favorites.
Whole ring, bro. That's funny. We gotta dink it and sink it.
Dink it.
Oh yeah. It looks creamy as fuck.
Oh my god, this is so good.
That looks bomb. Did it taste even better? Because one of them were free.
It's so good.
I'm trying to think of other people that you may have met. Again, has LaShonda come back in the picture?
No,
okay.
She hasn't. I assume that she's with Paddington.
No.
Wait,
that's
wrong.
Caltaine.
Oh yeah. Fuck that bitch.
Galentine is Paddington.
Fuck that bitch. Hey, fuck that bitch.
All right, we're here at the thrift store.
We're at the thrift store.
Let's go to the thrift. While you eat, I'm gonna do my book.
You do it.
Haul. So we hit a few bookstores, or not bookstores, thrift stores. Like 6 different thrift stores or something like that.
Yeah.
I went to quite a few different ones.
Yeah. We were out for a while today.
And I got way more than I should have. A series of unfortunate events. And I think this completes all that I needed. I've been trying to collect these for like the past 2 years. And I only find like one here and there. But this one I found all of those ones, and then this one was at a different store. And they had a few other ones there, but I already had those ones. So I hated to split up the series, but I had to do it. So I haven't read anything by Riley Sager yet, but I've really been wanting to, especially with the only one left, I think was the last one that just came out. And so I saw this, Final Girls, heard a lot about it, and a lot of people on my Goodreads have it on their want to read. So that's gotta mean something, right? Donna Tartt's The Goldfinch. You said this was really good.
I've heard it's really good.
I want to read The Secret History, which is also by Donna Tartt. So before I can get my hands on The Secret History, maybe this is going to be a good one. I think it won the Pulitzer. Yeah.
I got 50 Shades of Grey, the trilogy. Had to get them all because they were there. They were like $3 each. They were not bad at all. I heard that there were maybe some things that were not geared towards people who are in the BDSM lifestyle, so I'm really curious what that's about, what kind of trigger warnings are on these. Also got Where the Crawdads Sing, which I've heard so many good things about. Actually, one of my friends is reading that right now. And then I got The Perks of Being a Wallflower, just because I love it. So, yeah.
Really good movie. I saw the movie.
Yeah, good.
You thought I was done? You're wrong. I have a few more. Things We Hide from the Light. This is the second one in the series. I think there's 3 of them. I picked this up. It's Camp Zero. I think it's a sci-fi. I could be wrong. I don't remember. But a lot of people, a lot of booktubers, have been recommending this, and it's also an advanced reader's copy, which I thought was really cool because you don't really find a lot of ARC copies out in the wild. I also picked up The Martian by Andy Weir, and then we have Love Light Farms, which I'm going to save until Christmas time, but I almost read this past Christmas on my Kindle, and I was like, nah, I'm going to wait. And then How to Read Literature Like a Professor, because I want to start being able to do my reviews like more professionally. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And not just be like, I liked it because the sex was good. As somebody who wants to write and then also wants to kind of dissect these books a little bit more professionally, I want to sound a little bit smart, so I thought that might help.
Good haul.
Yeah, got a lot.
Sometimes it be like that.
Sometimes it do be like that.
And we're wearing our matching Bat Boys shirts.
That's right.
So fucking cute.
Are you Risa, Cassie, and our Azriel?
I don't know. I think I need to wait to see with the wingspan and Azriel if it's true.
Fair enough.
We gonna find out real quick.
I'm a Cassian girly, so
like Rhysand is fine, but I feel like he kind of got a little bitchy at the last book. I don't know. I'm waiting for this Azriel book. I think I might be an Azriel girly. I like that.
They say his wingspan is the biggest.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
It's not the size of it that matters. It's what they can do with it.
It's the motion of the ocean.
Hello. And I'm tatted. We have Fireheart, real hard to see. It says, give yourself a reason. And it's from Noah Khan's song, Call Your Mom. And the name of the tattoo shop reminds me of that Metric song, Black Sheep. So the whole time in my head, I'm like, send you my love on a wire. Yeah. Now I'm ready to go home and crash. I'm very tired.